Alright guys, let's continue with the trend of using A0 Gojo, and I'm going to show you a guide for floor 49 now. So floor 49 is actually a lot easier than floor 45 and 46, and I'll use pretty much the same strategy. So basically, you try to stack up both the buff and debuff, and then for your Gojo to nuke on turn 5. Now, ideally, you want Kaito to die after he used his ultimate buff. So basically, this lasts for 3 turns. So as long as you can activate this on turn 3, it doesn't matter if he dies afterwards. And then in the ideal scenario, when he dies, then you should have Momo coming in. However, you'll see from my gameplay later on, my Yaga also died, and my Kaito didn't actually die straight away on turn 3. But it was still fine. I still managed to beat through the stage fairly easily. So I definitely feel like their HP with their defense is nowhere near as high as floor 45 and 46. So if you already managed to beat floor 45 and 46 with this strategy, you should have no problem here, and not even much RNG is really required anymore. Now, the only, I guess, thing that you have to bear in mind is once again, because Kaito will be using his buff on turn 1, so he will actually move in front of Gakuganji. So the timing of when you actually use this recollection to increase ultimate gauge have to be on turn 2. Because on turn 1, Gakuganji will use Unity, but Gakuganji move after Kaito, so your recollection ultimate gauge increase won't be benefited from Unity. So that's kind of why on turn 1 the only recollection you want to activate is this, and then on turn 2 you then activate this recollection on Kaito, and that should give him enough to charge up his ult on turn 3. And yeah, just buff on turn 3. Gakuganji and Yaga start buffing on turn 2 onwards. I mean, Yaga can start buffing a bit earlier because you do have Kaito anyway, but Gakuganji should only be buffing from turn 2, and afterwards it's just like pretty much stacking up all of your buff and then nuke with your Hollow Purple Gojo. Oh, the other thing is because this Kaito ultimate is curse technique. So basically what you want to do with your Hollow Purple Gojo is that on turn 3 onwards, you only want to use your skill 1 because that's a physical attack, so you won't eat up the buff from Kaito. And then on turn 4, you'll be using your debuff skill. So this way you can maximize your damage when you actually then go for an ult on turn 5. In terms of the skill levels, this is sort of the skill levels. Definitely doesn't need to be that high, but you kind of need to be this high in order to beat floor 45 with a 0 deep Gojo. So this is kind of just, whatever you meant to use in order to beat floor 45 would also work here as well.
止めに取り掛かろう。集中するんだ。最善の一。やっちゃっていいの？皆様前に集中を。では教育の時間だ。行くぞ。相手の。そうさの。集中するんだ。手加減はしてあげるよ。援護します。授業を始めよう。はい。相手の。今なら俺でも手加減はしてあげるよ。呪連素術では教育の時間だ。挨拶だ。まさか可愛くないやつばっかりね。舐められるの？やっちゃっていいの？後ろは任せてください。なるほど。その程度？つらい。変な感じ。それじゃおしまいにしようか。オッケー、やめたわ。つらい。挙式紫。